Hi, I'm Colleen. I'm a reading tutor who started running a business back in September 2025 named Colleen's Classroom. I've always been passionate about teaching children how to read. I loved my job as a head teacher, but I decided to quit my role to pursue a new venture, which was running my own company to support those children who are struggling with reading.
Thanks, Colleen. Can you give us a snapshot of where your business was at back in October of 2025 before we started working together?
Um, Not where I wanted it to be. So I started off in September, to be honest with you, feeling quite confident because I managed to get four tutees, I call them. And I was really proud of that all through word of mouth. And I thought it was going to snowball. And then I very quickly realized by the beginning of October that I wasn't getting any more clients, no matter what I was doing. And so I think I just thought word of mouth was going to be really effective. But actually, once I'd secured the kind of ones that I'd already liaised with, it all just dried up and I started struggling to find clients.
What kind of things were you doing back then trying to find clients?
The classic things that I've learned not to now do from you. So I was very much advertising every single day on Facebook, and it just wasn't effective. I was posting it in literally every group. It was taking up so much of my time. I was designing these wonderful ads, what I thought was wonderful, on Canva and spending all my time doing this design and then posting it. And then my ads were just getting buried in a sea of other ads and nobody was replying to me. I was getting followers, but nothing was then coming from it. So then I set up a website and I spent a lot of time setting up my website thinking that was going to be effective and it brought me nobody.
Anything else?
Um, no, I think I just thought that was how you had to advertise. Just keep going. I was told be consistent, keep posting, keep posting. And so I was just posting every single day. I was doing the classic thing of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I did then actually design leaflets again on Canva, which Canva is great, but I was putting all my effort into that, printed a load of leaflets out, and I was going to go and deliver them. I actually then didn't do that because that's when I signed up with you. But essentially, I had no strategy. What I thought was a strategy was just post every day and hope that word of mouth works and hope that someday somebody responds to me, and it just didn't.
Okay, so you're spending money on leaflets and hosting your website, and you're spending tons of time on Facebook groups trying to find new leads, and it was crickets.
Like a total tumbleweed situation.
Yeah. Do you remember what your revenue was at that point?
Yeah, back then it was around £750, and that was all through the people I knew already. But like I said, that's what I got in the first 2 months. There were no changes to that amount.
That's £750 monthly.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you met me on the Instagram and
Yeah.
you were considering working with me. What kind of hesitations did you have about joining the program in the beginning?
That's actually a really easy question. The thought of handing over my money to somebody I don't know scared me. You hear so often about scams and not transferring money to people on the internet that you don't know. And so I was so hesitant. I knew I needed help, but the thought of just sending my money over to somebody and hoping that it was going to work. And the other worry was, what if I invest and I don't get any return on this? So that was probably the biggest hesitation for me.
How did you work through those hesitations?
I think two ways. I knew somebody who had worked with you as a coach. And so hearing that was really positive. But the truth was, I was still then really hesitant. And then you sent me videos of other testimonials. And I got to see that it's not just working for one person, it's working for multiple people. And then once I got on the call with you, you essentially said to me, well, if you want to make a difference, you're going to have to do something. And it was that I had so much fear And you convinced me to overcome that fear and do something that was a risk, but hopefully the payoff was going to be worth it. So I think the combination of seeing like almost like the social proof and having you say to me, come on, just take the leap, it made the difference. And I thought, no, I actually need to do this. And also, I suppose the fact that it wasn't what I was doing wasn't working. So I didn't really have many options. If I wanted to change it, I was going to have to do something that I thought was scary.
Yeah, I love working with people who have tried it already because they understand I need help. Okay, so what did we do to help the business when you did join the program? What did we change?
Everything. I think the first thing was I was just too broad and I was trying to advertise different things. I think what I found really tricky was I've been a teacher for a very long time and I really like a lot of the subjects, and I just hadn't really thought about exactly what I wanted to do, which sounds ridiculous now to say that. And you helped me to unpick, well, actually, what am I most passionate about, which is phonics and reading. I've always been the phonics and reading lead, so it made sense. So just having a niche really helped. And then I think the biggest thing you change is there's like all the practicalities. So for example, there's like how to put out an ad and how to actually target clients, how to talk to people in the DMs. People would follow me and I wouldn't even reach out to them before. I don't know why I didn't think of doing that, but I didn't. And then how to actually sell. And that was huge because as a teacher, you don't sell things. And that's really scary. So learning the strategies behind that was huge. But I think the biggest thing for me was the why. You taught me why we have to do certain things. Like before, when I was just sending my Facebook ads out, I didn't think about who I need to target and why I need to target those people. I was just doing it because I thought that's what you should do. So yeah, learning the why behind the sales process and the DMing process was huge.
Anything specific about, excuse me, about the why that you want to share um, in this interview?
Yeah, I think it's just that, when you're, as a teacher, you don't learn any of these things. You don't know how to run a business. And, you go into school every day and this is what you need to do, and you just get on with it and you just follow what you're supposed to do. Whereas coming into this, you have to learn a whole new way of thinking, and unpicking the why is so valuable. So, like a concrete example would be exactly what I just mentioned, my ads. I was sending out what I thought looked good, and I didn't unpick the why behind it. I'm not sending it out for me, I'm sending this out for somebody else and for it to resonate with that person. So unpicking the why behind why I'm sending out certain ads and why I'm using certain language was just a total game changer for me.
What was the content that you were putting out, like making in Canva? What kind of stuff were you saying in that content?
There was absolutely no nurture whatsoever. It was just me telling people what I offer. There was no strategy behind it. There was no explanation as to what my USP is, what makes me different from other tutors, how I actually like my mythology, how I teach things. There was none of that like warm up. It was just like cold. This is who I am. This is what I offer. Contact me if you want. And I also didn't have any call to actions either. And so I had the, oh, message me if you're interested. But, I didn't realize people won't really email. It's too much effort. You need to be able to do something really quickly. So then changing and having a call to action, that was something that changed quite a lot.
Yeah, that's a big one. Cool. Anything else that we changed or implemented in the business that you want to share?
I think as well, like more recently, so there's like the early stages, isn't there, where you're just trying to get more clients and more tutees. And, like I've just mentioned, everything that I've just commented on was just a total difference. Like there was nothing really that stayed the same apart from my actual teaching. But I suppose now in the later stages, and that was something I didn't know about. With your course, I was thinking, will I need to keep doing it? But actually, as a business evolves, there's so much you need to learn. So, for example, like another thing that I've really learned now is how to grow my business. And I've now onboarded a tutor, and that's been a huge learning curve. And you've taught me how to do that. So yeah, it's been a huge amount of learning the whole way through this process.
Yeah, that there's a saying in business that's new level, new devil.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So where's the business at now?
So much better. So I'm now at the point where I've moved from just having 4 tutees, I'm up to 17 now, which is just incredible. It's a bit like you say, it causes more issues, doesn't it? Because then I realize, oh, hold on a minute, I can't actually cater for this amount of children. So, which is such a great problem to have because I want to help as many as I possibly can. So now I'm up to 17 children. I've now onboarded a tutor as well. So I'm starting to actually look at the growth of my business and think about where I want to go long term. And learning from you how to do that's been incredible. And then obviously more recently talking about whether I can get a setter and grow in a slightly different direction and have someone help me with the admin. So yeah, I'm now at the point where I'm actually considering how to make my business bigger, not just fill my own slots, because my own slots are actually filled.
And for anybody who doesn't know, a setter is a part of a sales team. So you're building not only on the fulfillment side, bringing in contractors to help you teach, but also on the sales side of the business. Okay, so 17 active students. What does that translate to in revenue?
So each month I'm making around, before taxes, £3,125 a month precisely at the moment. The truth is, though, it changes week on week because each week I'm getting more discovery calls and new clients onboarded. So what I think is going to be my take home each month actually is changing and it's evolving for the better, pretty much every single week. But yeah, I'm making out over 3 grand.
Amazing. And that is about 3 months into the program. You started October 23rd, and today is January 20th. So we're almost exactly 3 months. What are you spending on ads this month?
So far on an ad, I've spent £280. Each month, I spend about 100, £120 a month. So yeah, totally worth it.
Okay, so the the 288 is the total ad spend. Like,
That's the total ad spend, yeah.
okay, so if we take 3125 and divide that by what do you typically spend in a month? 100 and what?
120.
120. That gives you a return on ad spend this month of 26 to 1.
Not bad, is it?
So for every pound spent on ads, you've collected 26 pounds in cash so far for January.
And that's really interesting because when I first calculated how much I was going to spend per month on an ad, that was again another hesitation. I thought, oh, that feels like a lot of money. But I think that's been one of the best things that you suggested to me to do because that money, well, you've just heard the figure, the return I'm getting on it is just so worth it. So yeah, that was a real game changer as well, actually.
Yeah, the ad is um, it's a very slow business without an add-on.
Yeah.
Cool. Any tangible results that are less number related? Like how has this impacted your lifestyle?
Oh, it's been huge. It's I've been a teacher for 15 years. I've been in leadership for 8 or 9 years, and then was in the last 2 years I was a head teacher. And like I said, I actually did love my job, but I was so burnt out by the time I left. And I think that's pretty much what every teacher says when they leave, or even actually currently, to be honest with you. But I was scared. I was scared to leave because I was getting a steady income. It's safe, isn't it? And so I was scared to go. But the truth was, I was just exhausted. And now my life is totally different. Like from an actual business point of view, I just feel so empowered. I love running my own business. And it's just like such an incredible feeling to learn new things, but actually see success and see something you've built. And also, I think like the biggest thing for me is I do love teaching children. And now I can actually see progress. Like my tutees and the tutees under my other tutor make so much progress because it is so personalized. And it was just disheartening as a teacher knowing that when you're the only one in a room of 30 that you can't help everyone. But if I can also talk personally about my own life, oh, just worlds away. I actually get to have breakfast in the morning. I go for a walk every day. I'm so much healthier. I'm not constantly just run off my feet. And if I am really busy, because running a business can be busy, it's the hours I choose to do and when I want to do it. So I'm not burnt out anymore. I'm really happy. That's the difference.
I saw a quote the other day that said, it's such a privilege to be exhausted by a project of your own choosing. It's like, yes, that's it. It says it all, right?
100%.
Cool. Anything else you want to share?
I think the main thing to share is just that, if people are watching this video and they're feeling the way I was feeling, it's that, teachers by nature often, I don't want to judge everyone, we're often not really risk takers. And we've been doing it for a long time and it feels safe. But if I could speak to anyone about whether to do this or not, I would say absolutely yes. It changes your life. My life is just so much better in every aspect. And if you really love teaching, you feel like you can make a difference. And I think it's just a huge thing to do. But the negative is you go into this world that you don't know. And so I don't think I could have done this without you. I don't think you can do it without a coach. And it's so important that you have a coach that you really get on with. But it's not just that, like, you're not scared to tell me, like, what you're doing, Colleen. You need to change this up, sort this out. You need someone who's going to, like, almost, I always say to parents, I'll take the reins. But that's what you've done whilst letting me be independent. You've said to me, like, hold up, this is what you need to do, stop doing that. And then I've gone and navigated it, and then I've seen that growth. So yeah, if that would be my other message to people is don't be scared to take the leap, but you probably do need to get a business coach because it's going to be so new.
Totally. Yeah. It's like, I think that comes back to teachers, again, being self-sacrificing, is they don't want to invest in themselves and their own happiness. They think, I'll figure it out myself. And I tried my best to figure it out myself for a long time. I I am the best warning story out there. I did not figure it out myself.
I
Okay,
don't
so
think you can though, because I thought I would figure it out myself. The truth is, like, I moved from being a teacher to a deputy to a senko to a head, and I actually didn't do any of the training. Like, quite often people need to go and do like leadership courses. I actually just figured it out, and I felt like I could just naturally do it, and I progressed. And so I think I just assumed that I'd move into this world and I would just be able to learn it and pick it up myself. And the truth was, I didn't know what I was doing at all. So, yeah, I really did need you.
it's hard when nothing's working because you're not getting any kind of positive feedback of like, oh, that worked, I'll do it again. Um, in the beginning, it's just a lot of like screaming into the void if you don't have a strategy. Okay, so if somebody were considering joining the program, that's typically the people who are watching these videos, what would you tell them?
Oh, 100% do it. Like, you're going to feel hesitation, but take the leap. It'll be the best decision you ever make. I feel like I've learned so much. But also, I think what's great about your program specifically, Carly, is that obviously we get the course, and the course is just incredible. Like I said, I feel like I've made so much progress. but the community that you've built as well has been amazing. So we meet online regularly, we can put hot seats questions in, we can message you at any time and you reply to us straight away. And I just feel like there's been no time wasted. I don't have to wait for a whole week until the next part of a course or the next meeting. We've just got our community where we can constantly share ideas with each other, and then other people in the program do the same thing. So I feel like the learning is just rapid. There is no wasted time. So yeah, 100% it is worth it.
Well, anything else that you want to share?
No, I think I feel like my face says everything. Like it's been, your course has been the best thing I've ever signed up to. And yeah, I can't promote it enough to anyone out there who's got those same hesitations I had. You need to do it because you will see rapid improvement.
Thank you. That's very good. Very nice to hear.